Hey, Rylan here at the Vic Shop. Today I want to talk about how to look up victory parts. I get that's like the number one thing that people ask is where do I get parts? And believe it or not, Victory just sells the parts. You just go to victorymotorcycles.com and order them all up. And then inevitably, about half the time, I guess, the person is not looking for parts, what I would describe as parts. They're looking for accessories, like, oh, well, I was looking for a backrest or a sissy bar or luggage rack or different pegs or, and all that stuff is accessories. And yeah, those are going to be hard to find. But when it comes to service parts, like, parts, what I consider to be parts, they're just right here at victorymotorcycles.com. So the way the system works is Polaris owns Victory. They have warehouses that store all these parts that are the original equipment parts, and that they send out to all the dealers. So then you have to be a dealer in order to resell these parts. And so a lot of people are going to dealer websites. The dealer is now a third party middleman between Polaris and you. And that's where a lot of confusion exists because a person will say, well, yeah, I can't find any parts anywhere. I went to, you know, victorythings.com or victorydoodads.com or buy my victory parts or Joe Blow's victory parts, and all those are third party and with varying degrees of success. And so you ought to know that the straight scoop will come from victorymotorcycles.com, and I'll show you in just a second how to work that. But should explain the middleman more. I work with the middleman. I get my stuff from an authorized dealer. There's no other way. And I love the middlemen that I use. I love the dealer that I use because they add a lot of value. And so it's good to have that person in there. And then there's all of these websites that I mentioned, like Joe Blow's victoryparts.com, are a great way for you to get parts too, but you just have to know that that person's a middleman, and if that person's good and they're looking after your best interests, then they're worth the going through that person and supporting that person that supports the victory community, by having their website out there. But if you're having trouble with that person, it's that you should realize that's a third party there, and you may not be getting the right parts or answers because that third party doesn't know the correct parts or answers, and it's not Victory's fault. And then, of course, that person will go online, I can't find Victory parts. It's because the guy you were working with doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. So if you're experiencing that and you just want to get straight to the source, then, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this is the official Victory website where you would buy the official OEM parts and have them shipped straight to your house from a Polaris warehouse in the Midwest usually. So way it works, you just go to this fancy website. You'll know you're at the correct Victory Motorcycles website. Again, victorymotorcycles.com. And it's got these good looking models, and the only Victory model I guess they're willing to admit to, the Octane. So then I go into parts, and you want to enter what you're riding. Like, oh, let's say you're looking for a belt for your 2013 cross country. So I entered 2013 cross country, and then I go over here, and I know that's in the drivetrain, and it says drive sprocket, belt cover, and guard. I know the belt's in there from experience. And boom, it brings up the parts fiche, and it shows you all the associated parts, each part number, price, availability. And then, so many people call, oh my gosh, I can't find a belt. I'm like, well, did you go to victorymotorcycles.com and look it up? Oh no, I was on, some other website that was just some random third party that didn't have this. And so anyway, here it is. So like, $2.99. Let's add it to the cart, and we're going to view the cart here. Come on. And then, it wants it's $10 to ship it. And you just pay for it and it shows up to your house a few days and away you go. There is no middleman there. It's just coming from a Polaris factory. So that is that. So that exists, and that of course is super nice. But if you want to get a step further, there is another free Polaris website that you can look up parts. And let's find that one. There it is. Parts.polarisindy.com. And this is the older website. The one with the fancy models on it was, that's new this year. But this was a traditional way to look them up. And this is how you'd look up any Polaris product. It's got Indian here, as well as all the snowmobiles and side-by-sides and quads and whatnot. But we want Vic. And let's this time I'm going to look up a 2013 Vision Shock. And I know that, oh, you know what? Here's a better example. I know that the rear rotor has been on back order for a while, and some people have called me about it. So let's go down to the wheels. I know the rotor is on the rear wheel, and number 9 here. So here's the part number for this rear rotor. And copy that, and go into this advanced search here. So here's a good example of a third-party website that you could use. Let's see. This one is Dawnwood Victory, third-party, popular way to order parts, and they've got a good website here that shows. It's an alternative way to the Victory motorcycles.com. So I'm just going to copy paste that rotor number that I just took off the parts fiche. I'm going to put a search in for that, and it shows here. It's sub 2. No, that's the correct number. See, I thought this was back ordered. Okay, so there's a good example. It's letting me buy that. Let's go to see if it's actually available with the Victory site. Let's see, parts, 2013 cross country, rear wheel. Okay, see, that's a great example. On Dawnwood's site, it would have let me buy this part that is on back order. And then you would have placed this order and then gotten a call in a few days from Dawnwood saying, oh yeah, that card transaction we just did, that thing's on back order. And then there's an extra layer of, logistics there that you're going to have to deal with. But when I went to victorymotorcycles.com, I see here that it's not currently available, which I know to be true. They've been on back order for a while, all summer. And you may think, well, sons of bitches, they said that they were going to make parts for, 10 years or whatever. And let's see what else this is used on. I know this to be true. So we're going to go back to this parts fiche, the old traditional website, and go to the advanced search here at the top. And then I'm going to put that number back in. This is that rotor number. And I'm going to see if it fits all products. Maybe they use this on a military boat. And I click the search. And it turns out that they use this rear rotor on all the Indians, too. All the Indians, all the big twins anyway. Well, shoot, it even uses it on the Challenger. So I know that this is something that Polaris is probably having supply chain issues with because they really want to make their Indian customers happy. And if it's still unavailable, that's a problem. So once you realize that it fits all these models of Indian and all these models of Victory, and it's back ordered, then the next thing would be to go to like eBay. And this is going to be true like guys that are writing older stuff. You know, like you need a head gasket that's discontinued for your 99. You go in, you get the part number. Now you realize that it's not available, and then you go to eBay and you put that part number in there. See what pops up. You know, oh, and here's one for. This one's been chromed, refurbished for some money. You know, here's yeah, it's coming up with some Indian stuff. So good used. And then oftentimes maybe there'll be an aftermarket alternative that's, oh, let's say it's marketed to the Indian crowd, but it's the exact same spec, you know, so it would work on your Victory. That has happened in the past. I know that front rotor is thinner, and that exists. There's some aftermarket front rotors, the thin style, that would work. I'm not so sure on the thick rear ones. So anyway, that's kind of the rundown of how you're gonna look up parts and know where to find parts, and the difference between a part and an accessory. So yeah, good luck with all that. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.